Hi everybody, thanks for joining me for this week's progress of my bits and bobs video 32. I made some good progress on the balloon. I completely did the blind stitch all the way around to hold it to the background and all the way through all the layers, and then I came back with the same thread actually, and I took a tack stitch every element of this trim just to give it another pull to the background, you know, a 1/4 inch in from the edge. And that, I like how that turned out. The block itself is lying pretty good, except for this one section here that's a bit puffy, but I might be able to live with that. I haven't done anything about it because I'm still contemplating what to do if I want to do anything. I did a quilting stitch around the balloon and around the basket, and I'll show you the basket up close. I made that by weaving pink and blue velvet ribbons, and then I stitched a pearly bead in the center. I cover how I made all these elements in my Schoolhouse of My website, which, yes, it's only available, the Schoolhouse is, to members. If you're interested and really interested, all those details are there for you. I also am sharing it here, but I just don't give as much detail as far as how I created these. As I said last video, I kind of hope that this inspires you to do your own version of this, but that's not to say you're allowed to just take my designs and use them on yours. That's not what I meant, because someone asked me, or told me actually in a private email, that they were going to copy my designs and then remake them on their own. And that is not what I meant. I'm inspiring you. I'm not encouraging you to copy. These are my original designs, and I don't give you permission to just trace them off of a picture. All right, I don't mean to get grumpy. I just sometimes what people think they're allowed to do scares me. All right, now I've done all that quilting. The only thing I have left is I want to double stitch this trim. Now I finally figured, half a year ago, I found out what this trim is actually called. It's called soutache. And I'll show you a little better up close. If you see the way I stitched it, I didn't stitch just straight across. I stitched it an angle. So it gave it a bit of a rope look to it. That was intentional. Now what I've decided to do to stitch it, you can see I've stitched this one down, but I haven't finished any of these others. And it definitely has pulled it into the background. And what I did is I just, with this one, the stitches are maybe not 1/8 of an inch apart, but a little bit apart, you can see. And with these, I just came back in between each of those stitches and just put another stitch. So they're doubly close, but still at an angle. So it'll still give the rope look. So that's what I have left to do. I'm hoping to get it mostly done today, and then I'll come back and videotape. Well, at least at the very least tomorrow I'll videotape how far I've come, and then I have to upload the video to get it on time. Now, was there anything else? No, I'm very happy today. This is the second day in many, many months, like November, that I've had full solar battery charged. Like they're full and they can't get any fuller because of the big blue skies. Very happy about that. What I had been asked, I don't want to scare anybody away from choosing solar if you choose to. I love solar and the bang you get for the investment. The reason I have lesser power in the wintertime is because I personally choose to live without a generator. Most people that have solar panels also have a generator, and they can fill up their batteries whenever they run low and don't have enough sunshine. In my case, I had when I first started living here by myself when my ex left, um, the generator we had, which I loved, it was a propane generator, and I don't even think you can get it anymore. I didn't have the strength to do the pulling to start it. It was a pull motor. I had a car accident a bunch of years ago, and that's ruined that. I can't do that kind of pull anymore. So I wasn't able to use that generator. So then I bought a gas generator, and for several really good reasons. One being that the company that sold it to me forgot to tell me that there was this little note inside the manual that I didn't know until after I had started using it, that it's not meant to use in -4 degrees Celsius and colder. They really should not be selling something like that in Canada, because guaranteed we're going to get colder than -4 in the wintertime. And then the other reason is the gasoline, to have to arrange for my neighbor to get me gasoline and jerry cans. That whole thing was not fun either. So I just decided, since I have lots of activity to keep me busy that don't require electricity, I just decided to live without the generator. And when I don't have power, I just do those activities like hand stitching, which I also do when I have power. Okay, that's enough of that. Just wanted to explain, because somebody had yeah, I don't want to discourage you from doing solar if you are even thinking about it, because it's such a good bang for your buck. It really, really is. All right, back to my stitching. I'm gonna get as much this done today, and then I will come back tomorrow and share where I am. Okay, it's time. I didn't get the whole balloon rope done, but I'm really pleased with how far I got, and I get to show you things. If I did it all, then you wouldn't remember the before and after, and now you can kind of see both. So all of these are done, and you can see how much they've pulled them to the background. As far as the upper ones go, I did these two to here, and actually did this one to here, but then I decided I should start with the middle and work my way out, in case I get into some wonky balloon puffiness that I wasn't crazy about. So this guarantees that I won't get into wonky, because I start in the middle. So I've broken the puff in half, and then I will do both outsides and then break those in half with these. So that's why I'm working in that order. But I have done this complete one, and you can see the difference between it pulling the balloon tighter to the background, and then also what this is all going to do is give the balloon the puffiness in the sections that it needs for its illusion. And so yeah, you can see here that I've done it and it's pulled in, but this is puffy. See how this isn't pulled in? It will be when it's complete, but at the moment it isn't. So you can see that. Okay, I'll continue stitching, and I don't think I'm going to do anything with this at the moment. I haven't come up with anything, and I am thinking maybe I'll have a filler piece I can put there, and then that, because it really is just this piece that's a little too puffy. And if I do some invisible stitching there to hold the puff down, I'd have to do invisible stitching everywhere, because it says it's invisible, but there are little bits you can see, so I'd want to balance that out. In the meantime, we've gone all the way, halfway up the back side, all the way across the top, and now we've started going down. I've started going down the right side, and so now there's just the right side, rest of the right side, and the bottom, and a little bit up the left, and that's all for the big elements. I mean, I'm more than halfway through all the big elements, putting them down. I'm very, very pleased with that progress. I'm in no hurry to finish this quilt. This, like I've said, is truly just a me project, a Benita Skinner project, for me to enjoy all my treasures, designs I've made. And I did say earlier, you can't copy them, you can't. But there are some of them that are available as patterns, and those, if you buy a pattern, you can. I'm not trying to shill though. I just wanted to clarify that I had to say you couldn't, but you can if you buy the pattern, because that gives you the license and right to use the image. Okay, sorry. I did sound a little scoldy this video, and I apologize for that. It's jarring when somebody points out to you they're just going to take your images when for 25 years you've tried to make your living doing this. And if any of you designers out there know, making your living selling patterns to people that just feel they can just take them without paying, yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't buy your groceries. Oh, I'm terrible. I did it again. My apologies. Sincerely, my apologies. I won't talk about it at all next time. Sometimes I just have to get it off my chest. Okay, or explain. That's it for me this week. Happy stitching. Please be inspired and do your own bits and bobs quilt. I would love that. I would love to see all your versions. And in the meantime, if not, just enjoy hopefully my inspirations. I got a wonderful comment this morning from someone who made me feel terrific about what I'm doing. So I hope I haven't ruined that by being a little grumpy this time. Thank you very much. I'll have more progress for you next week. Happy stitching.